Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of I Digress, the podcast about losing our attention on any given topic and just going
on
completely
every topic.
Every topic. Talk about all of them. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm pretty swell. I'm excited to get back into this. I didn't think that we would get the opportunity to make a second one. It's quite the pleasure to be able to do this with you, Chase.
I mean, it's always great to have a long, rambling conversation, and it's even better that we get to, share it with other people, so they can, listen to
enjoy this garbage.
Basically, yeah.
Thank you, by the way, to everyone tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you tolerate our ramblings. I don't know if enjoy would be the right word yet, but yeah.
Who knows? Art is subjective. Eye of the beholder, etc.
Yeah. So before we get started today, I do have a couple things to say. I've been listening back to our podcast, and I realized I got the thing about the coffee like completely wrong. The Mayans did not invent coffee. That was hot chocolate.
I knew they had hot chocolate.
Yeah. And the hot chocolate drink was used by pretty much everyone, but it was called like the drink of the gods, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If my reading from a couple days ago is if I remember correctly. Yeah, go ahead.
I know that the ruler, whatever, I don't know what their ruling system was, but the king, ruler, dude, whatever, would drink like gallons a day.
So yeah, I mean,
it was, you kind of liked it.
If we're pretending hot chocolate is coffee, our analogies and everything still hold up. But I believe actual coffee, if I remember again my reading correctly, was discovered in the old world somewhere in like the Middle East. So yeah, I
didn't know that they grew coffee in that part of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's exactly the prime spot, but farming has shifted. But
yeah, maybe it's a different like type of bean too.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
You never know. You'd have to be a coffee expert, and neither of us.
I am not. Yeah.
Yeah. Given by our sort of tirade against it last episode. But anyway, I digress. Let's actually get to the starting topic of this episode: sleeping pills.
Oh yeah. So what a topic.
Yeah, kind of an interesting thing to start on. Have you ever taken sleeping pills, Joe?
Not like, I need like 8 Xanax to fall asleep because I've got this layover in Chicago. But like I've taken melatonin before.
Yeah. So I was thinking about doing like research for this episode and be able to be like, like
be relatively knowledgeable.
I'd be able to read out like a whole drug name. I'd have read some studies on it or something. But I opened up like the tab yesterday, and then I got busy with like a bunch of other things, and I'm like, you know what? We like there's a bunch of fun topics we can branch out on about like sleeping pills. What has your experience been with sleeping pills, Joe?
Oh goodness.
Have they helped you fall asleep? Have you had a sleep paralysis demon?
I have not, thankfully, had a sleep paralysis demon.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
No, and that is mortifying. It used to be one of my like greatest fears.
Yeah, like
just stuck there, unable to do anything.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that like there's some people that have like gotten sleep paralysis just from like hearing about it, and that kind of sounds stupid to me because like it's like a weird state of like sleep. I mean, I don't want to invalidate anyone's like experience if that happens to you. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a sleep doctor. But like, I mean, how does that happen? Like, what triggers that? I guess is more my curiosity.
I don't know. A part of it may be that they have had that experience before to some extent, but they didn't.
It was just reminded.
They didn't know that it had a name or that it was common or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think, and take this with a grain of salt, I think I might have had it like once kind of recently.
Okay.
Bear in mind, I did not have a sleep paralysis demon, but I did remember waking up kind of at like a weird spot in the morning. Like, I didn't get a chance to look at the clock, but like I couldn't move. Like I tried to, and I like when it kind of like, it was a weird feeling. I don't know if that was sleep paralysis. I mean, it sounds like it. Didn't have any demons.
Maybe you're your own demon.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah. I think I knew what was happening kind of, and I did not look in the corner of my room to see any of those like cursed images just kind of like sitting there. Oh yeah. But
boys.
Yeah, no. So luckily I might have just evaded it completely. But yeah.
At least the demon side of things, I'm sure that if you're in that like waking state but you just can't physically move, regardless of the demon presence, I'm sure that still counts as sleep paralysis.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the word goes, no demon is expressly implied.
Yeah.
But it's more the cultural
thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't have the true, I had like, maybe sleep paralysis, but I didn't have the full experience,
Okay.
That's what you need. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just jump off the deep end.
Yeah, you can't have like the room full of demons coming up on you.
Not at first.
Yeah, no. That's
Baby
later
steps.
On. Yeah.
Yeah. To answer your question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Melatonin is the full extent of my sleeping pill experience. And yes, it does help me fall asleep. No, it does not help me stay asleep at all. It is not fun.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So does it like... go ahead. Like, what is your experience?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
They normally sell it as like a 3 or 5 milligram little tablet thing, whatever. And some people just take like the 3 and they're fine. And I have a buddy with insomnia where his doctor told him, yeah, if you ever can't fall asleep, just take like 20 milligrams. They won't tell you to do it, but yeah, you should do that. Don't do that, listeners at home, unless you have been prescribed that by a doctor. I am not a medical expert in any regard.
Just take all of the melatonin. Flood your body with hormones. Who cares? It's natural. I've been to Whole Foods. I've seen all of the, sleeping pills on the rack. You can take all of them. It's all good. It's always good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine.
If it's natural, take however much you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, duh. I mean, it comes from the earth. You come from the earth.
Yeah.
You're fine.
There's no danger at all.
At all. No. But you may not get to go back to sleep for a while, because regardless of how much I take, like I started, with like 5, that was all right, whatever. And I've taken like 15 milligrams before when I'm like, I need to go to sleep. It's like 5 a.m. So help me. I need to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I have fallen asleep almost instantly. That part, wonderful.
Nice.
So in terms of a sleeping pill, it does its job in that regard.
Makes you fall asleep.
It makes you fall asleep. Yeah, that's what you look for. However, 4 hours later, give or take 3-4 hours later, every single time I wake up, just inexplicably, and I cannot fall back asleep for at least like an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah, every time.
So is it like a specific feeling? Like what makes you wake up usually? Like, do you know?
I don't know exactly like the mechanism, but I have a theory.
Okay.
So when you take the melatonin, that's, such a large relative boost in your natural hormone level that it all, kind of just hits your brain all at once for the most part. And it's like, oh, boom, I need to go to sleep right now. I'm really tired. And so you do. And then, as that starts to progress its way throughout your system, then my theory is that it all kind of exits your system, your brain, bloodstream, whatever,
within a few hours.
Pretty much at the same time too.
So what you're saying is that you need like an IV drip of like melatonin,
like a continued release.
I mean, interesting thing. They've actually been working on stuff like that for just regular drugs. You know, continuous release is something very important.
Absolutely.
Bringing up some of that. Medical.
You don't want all of it at once.
But yeah, I don't think you're gonna be getting that at Whole Foods. Just saying.
I don't know. Slow release apples. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, food of the future. Just slow release nutrients. It's like,
food
you know,
for thought.
You ever had a gobstopper? It's just like one of those, but you know.
Oh man, I'm getting like.
It'd be like the one from the movies. Vibes.
Oh, like from like Willy Wonka?
Yeah, Willy Wonka is like everlasting. Where it is like a whole meal.
Yeah.
It's basically.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Willy Wonka had the market cornered before anyone else.
Absolutely. Ahead of his time. The Aldous Huxley of the food industry.
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay, who did it better? Johnny Depp or Gene Wilder?
I have not seen the Johnny Depp one.
Really?
I have not. It came out like at that point in my childhood where my mom didn't know what to think about that particular rendition of the movie. And so I didn't see it when I was relatively young, when it like first came out. But, you know, it got to a point when I could have seen it. And then I just didn't.
Fair enough. In my opinion, having seen both versions, I think they're both kind of fun, like in their own way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Gene Wilder's obviously the classic. Like, no one's gonna like be able to top that in terms of, you know, like that. That's the one you watch.
That is,
yeah.
That is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it's the classic. But like, I think the 2000 like the 5, I want to say one is it has its own like aesthetic, you know, like
absolutely.
And I mean that's kind of fun in its own way. Like it's fun to see sort of the whole like kind of like new version. I like kind of the way
a new light on it.
Yeah, like I like the way that like all the costumes work and everything in that one. It's just so like strange.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I've gotten, even just from Depp's like just look.
Yeah, I mean,
just movie posters and stuff. Yeah. Which, and you know, go ahead.
Definitely weird, but like just fun to watch just for that sort of spectacle. But yeah.
Yeah. That kind of, I guess, dark twist, even if it's just like purely aesthetic, is a really interesting, at least even just concept for something that's so pure and childish and just, you know, happy-go-lucky, candy everywhere, you know, even though people die left.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what it was, you know? People dying left and right. You have to be, you know, cheery and happy.
Yeah,
Roald Dahl, when he wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that's kind of what he was going for. He's evoking, you know, the feelings of the times of yore. Everyone died back in the day.
Yeah.
You gotta stay happy and find your chocolate factory.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a shirt. Find your chocolate factory.
Merch store coming. Yeah.
Oh man. That's actually a really good quote though. I really like.
I mean,
redbubble.com/I Digress.
Maybe
make it happen.
I think we need a certain viewership before we start doing stuff like that. I was thinking we could do like a live show at some point, but like, you know,
that would be fun. Yeah,
we need people to come and watch it. We need interaction with the chat so they can assist our digression. You know. Yeah.
10 listeners special.
Yeah. I mean, I think we got a little more than 10 listeners right now.
I hope.
Um,
I've heard feedback from lots of people. So thank you everyone for your feedback and for listening and for, giving us a shot. It's really special to, have you guys be a part of something so, in the long term pointless.
But I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to have fun. And maybe this is our
chocolate factory. Exactly. Yeah. Boom.
So even while everyone's dying of not like the plague, but the coronavirus this time, we just gotta find it,
Absolutely, Chase. That, that is the purpose of that's just, that's life. That's the point. People 100%. Have been speculating since the dawn of man. Why am I here? And even before they even knew what a cacao bean was.
Even before the Mayans were drinking.
Even before
their chocolate drink and we mistaked it for coffee.
Find your chocolate factory.
Yeah.
And they may have realized it back in the day when, like Chad Gar's like in his cave as you do.
Yeah.
He may have realized that and he's like, I don't know what chocolate is. What the fuck? Just moved on to, find another saber tooth.
Two things I want to say. One, kind of going off the caveman topic, because I do have kind of an interesting thought about that. But the other thing I was going to mention at the start, and I just kind of forgot to, is I think the other funny thing about the show is our like difference in audio quality. Like, like you've listened to the episode, like the first episode. It sounds like I am like a radio show person, and you're like
absolutely
a caller. Like,
and I'm a caller.
This is WKRB radio. We are talking about cavemen right now. Joe, what is your thought?
You are on the air.
You are on the air.
Well, you see, Chase, actually, cavemen originated in... They weren't really cavemen at all. How you talk when you're on the radio.
Yeah. Like, it's strange. Like, I love listening to radio shows and listening to people's, like, crazy takes. It is...
oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the best part. That's the best part. We need to do that at some point, but...
oh, man.
Yeah.
Just get a radio show?
Well, I mean, this is the radio show,
How meta is that?
Yeah, I mean, we can get a caller in and we can garble their audio like even more. So
we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, but it's like a progression. Like, I have like the cleanest audio. If I put like a pop filter on this mic, I'll be even better.
Oh man.
You got like the slightly worse audio, and then we have like the incomprehensible like phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in a tunnel. Sorry.
Yeah. But before we digress too much onto something not even related, cavemen. Question for you: who do you think the richest caveman was?
Oh. Okay. Well, this brings up a clarifying question.
This is a whole rabbit hole on its own. But I was talking with one of my other friends in physics class.
You have other friends beside me, Chase?
Hard to believe, I know.
You said what we had was special.
It is special, Joe.
Okay.
But are you in physics? I mean...
no, on purpose.
Anyway... When I probably should have been doing physics, I was talking with one of my friends. We were looking up, Googling richest people ever.
Yeah.
It's a fun list. Like, you got your classics. You have your, like, Carnegie and Rockefeller.
Right, Rockefeller.
Who made absurd money and basically were running the country back in the day.
Absolutely.
Then you have the people, like the old world, like people who actually like commanded a bunch of power. There was this one dude, if you'll remember from history class, I might remind you, might remind the listeners. Back in the day before the Industrial Revolution really kicked off, basically in like the century or two before that, Amsterdam was like the place to be. Like it was, it was the big port. They had like the Dutch East India Company.
Oh yeah.
All of that. They had all sorts of trade going on. It was super rich. But the dude who profiteered, get your spices. The dude who profiteered the most off of that was this Dutch guy. He was like stupid rich. Stupid rich.
Okay.
I want to say he owned one of like the big companies. It might have been the East India Company. Don't quote me on that. Might very well be wrong. But he had oodles of money. And fun fact about him, the church back in the Catholic Church wanted to do things. They wanted to build like, I don't know, St. Peter's Basilica. And normally, like if the church wanted to build something, they would, work on collecting money themselves or just sort of like paying people themselves. But since they had someone that was so stupidly rich, like that actually existed, they basically had to take disposal. They had to loan money from him to build like St. Peter's Basilica and then a bunch of other like really expensive churches.
I had no idea.
And basically, they had to pay all this money back at some point. So you know what they started doing, right?
Oh, no.
They started selling indulgences.
Indulgences? No!
Yeah,
really?
so basically, this dude single-handedly started the Reformation.
He started the Protestant Reformation.
So this guy was so rich, he single-handedly changed religion for like the entire world. Yeah. But there was a guy who topped that.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
Okay, I believe you.
There was this guy older than him. This was a good, maybe like a millennia before that. His name was Mansa Musa. And the page we looked at, it was hilarious because they had like actual like wealth ratings like in today's like money.
Like converted, yeah.
Yeah. They had like Rockefeller and Carnegie and all that. They're like stupid rich. I think maybe more rich than Bezos. That sounds right. Yeah. And the last guy, the Dutch dude, I want to like, he was a good order of magnitude, maybe like 4 times richer than like.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe more than that, honestly. But then you scroll to the bottom of the page. You get to Mansa Musa. You look at his health or his wealth value. Got the colon there. Incalculable. which is, I mean, okay.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, okay, but like it makes complete sense when you learn like how he got this wealthy. Okay. So basically, he was a ruler of, I believe, a North African kingdom.
Okay.
And this North African kingdom had a single, well, I mean, not a single export, but like one like chief export that made them stupid amounts of money. It was salt.
Okay.
Yeah, because, if you think about it, back in the day, if anyone wanted to go anywhere, if anyone wanted to do anything, they needed salt, basically. It makes food actually tasty, now food a lot.
Quick side note from that real quick.
Yeah.
Is now back at that point in history, if I remember correctly, they weren't just using salt like to flavor their food. Like it was mostly for preserving it, right?
Yes, I mean that was a good too. Like salt, like that like flavoring your food is mostly if you are like Mansa Musa and you want your food to actually taste good and you can pay for it. But yes, you basically had to preserve your food if you wanted to go anywhere, if you wanted to have your meat survive the winter, you have to salt that. And basically he had a monopoly on salt.
Okay, damn.
I don't know how they collected it. I mean, it might have been just like mining it. They have some interesting methods today.
Yeah, there are a couple different ones. Like Himalayan salt is like mined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just a big rock. They make it into lamps and stuff. Yeah.
But then others, you just fill up a big pool with salt water, let it evaporate, and then you get a big excavator in there and scoop out all the salt.
Yeah. But basically, yeah. So he had like the monopoly on it, and he sold it to everyone. And there wasn't any companies back in the day, and he was just the king of a kingdom that had all that salt. So he had insane amounts of wealth.
Yeah.
So insane that when he was like traveling somewhere with like his caravan and his like war elephants or whatever, he
As you do,
yeah, as you do. He was making a couple charitable donations, just kind of dropping some like gold bars to the beggars like across the way, and he single-handedly destabilized like an entire economy as he was just like walking around.
Like he was just breathing, and his presence alone was enough to destabilize an entire economy.
Yeah, basically. Like he was just there, he was doing something he thought was nice, and he just ruined the economy. Yeah. So I mean, that stuff's insane. But the thing that makes me like kind of wonder, like you have these people, Musa, I guess, would be the best example. He had something that was so valuable that he basically had the entire wealth of the world to himself.
Yeah.
Because no one else had salt. Everyone needed salt. Like it's an important thing. You can get like water, you can get food. There's a bunch of different resources for that. But salt is something specific.
Split around the world. Yeah, and salt, it's from the earth.
For cavemen, though, or for like, early
forgot that's
humans.
What we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a roundabout topic. Who would have been the most rich? Because like back in those days, there might have been someone who had like the monopoly on something like that we don't even consider.
Yeah.
And I mean, arguably, everyone in the caveman economy, I guess if you want to call it, like had that sort of power. Like you had the person that like made the clothes, and if you don't have him, if they die, you're screwed because you need
where
that.
Do you get your clothes?
You have the hunters, and only they can hunt. They only know the methods. They only know how to make the weapons. If you're screwed without that, like I'm wondering, like who would have been the Mansa Musa of like the early world?
Who was the cornerstone to their society, I guess.
And this is like prehistory, so I mean we don't have any records of this, but like it's interesting to think about, like who would have been the person that was like the chief profiteer, who would have been the robber baron of like the stone world.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think out loud here for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm also just running this by you, so make sure that we're on a relatively similar page.
Yeah, go ahead.
So back in especially prehistory, there wasn't really like an economy, I suppose. Like you had what you needed.
Not in the classical sense.
Yeah, and you had your barter system, of course. But then that brings up an interesting point: is how close to today are we talking in terms of like what is a caveman in this sense?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it can be called like a human, but I mean, I imagine for this to actually like work in terms of like a oh god, I'm forgetting the word like a thought exercise. There we go.
Yeah.
Like it would probably need to be like to a point where humans there's like a good number of us kind of spread out.
Okay.
And you could like have that, like I guess like basic societies are kind of forming, because you can't really have an economy without that sort of structure.
Right. So we're talking like the
as soon
Indus
as we
River
get
Valley. Like what we talking here?
I mean, hard to say. Like I wouldn't say it's a specific time, because like different people got to different points at different times.
Yeah.
But I think as soon as people probably could have something like Monopoly, like if they get to have like a thing like salt, which is like a not an essential resource, but something that is extremely valuable and extremely useful.
Absolutely.
Who would have been like the only person to control that? And I mean, I don't know if that sort of thing existed before, like larger societies with a single or, a ruling kind of system.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I've never really had that thought before. Okay. So back to the thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Things that you have to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Food, water, shelter, and what's the fourth one? There's four of them. I swear.
Air.
Sure. Sure. I'm having violent flashbacks to freshman biology. Like, okay, people need these four things to survive. What are they?
I mean, you can go to like oh god, like Maslow's. I'm getting that wrong.
Oh, the hierarchy of needs. Yeah,
yeah,
it's Maslow.
Okay.
I was talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the very basic.
The bottom rung of that, basically. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No self-actualization just yet.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah. They're in survival mode. Mm-hmm. They have been. They have to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know. Water, they just drank. Like, you didn't really purify it a ton, from what I understand. You just had to be able to process that.
Yeah.
So that's where you got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, kind of a similar thing is, like, if you and I, fairly Caucasian individuals, were to go to, like, particularly Mexico is what comes to mind. They always say, don't drink tap water, because you're not going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
The locals, they've been drinking that since even before they were born. Like, in utero, that's what's been fueling them. So they can process that because they've just been doing it. So I'm sure that goes back to prehistory. So water, I don't think you could really monetize.
No, I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, it would have to be something that is like a uniform, like, resource. The reason why Mansa Musa had that much money is because no one else could get salt. You can get water in a lot of places, even if it's like not good water.
Yeah,
like, it exists.
You still have it.
Yeah. So I mean, it would have to be at least like Bronze Age, kind of like, here's a metal.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Metallurgy. Yeah.
Like who the godly blacksmith is, or coppersmith. I guess.
I was even thinking like a step ahead of that.
Okay.
Just how do you get this ore out of the ground? Who's going to do that? And at the time, assuming that we're talking the very like beginning of metallurgy and metalsmithing, all of this new metalworking technology, there aren't a lot of people that know how to do that. So, that, I suppose, little subcircle of the miners who extract the ore and the people who purify it and smelt it down, make all that shit, that little circle, while not essential for survival, is very, very helpful. Kind of like Montezuma. So maybe we're onto something there.
Yeah. Potentially. I mean, honestly, you're never going to know. Like, I mean...
No, exactly. It's just fun to think of.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean...
What are...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I was just going to ask you what your thoughts are, in terms of who like, at least what circle, yeah. Would have been that important.
Like, yeah, I think the tough thing about this is that you basically need an iron fist, essentially, to be able to collect all that wealth for yourself.
To enforce that, yeah.
Yeah, because...
stay in power.
Like, every person who is amassed, like, that stupid amount of wealth had some sort of system backing them so that their wealth didn't get, like, distributed among, like, the people who essentially got it for them.
It stayed there.
Yeah. So... I think it would have to be at least to like Mesopotamia, like age kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe like the first person
banking or something.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing that probably people would have like needed is tools, obviously. So the person who maybe hoarded, maybe the most, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Not so much like an end of days tool collection.
Yeah. I
But,
mean, it's hard to say.
They have a surplus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the window, like from a historical context, is so ridiculously huge. And depending on where you look through that window, you're going to see a lot of different stuff.
I think the thing that might be universal, though, is probably the person who collected the most gold, because like salt, it is something that would be kind of hard to find, for one.
Yeah, indeed.
Kind of the same process, assuming that like they mine it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't found gold falling from the sky or something yet.
Yeah. And maybe, I mean, gold is classically useful because it is
it's
very malleable.
Yeah. And
it's rarity. You can make essentially like anything out of gold, and it would be at least semi-useful.
Even if it's just to melt down and turn into coin.
Yeah. The person who had the monopoly on that, who had the best mining methods, who controlled the most people, would probably been, my opinion, the first sort of like rich dude.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
So that was a fun topic.
Yeah, I've definitely never thought about ancient wealth like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hard to say when it really begins.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I'm sure some like anthropologist somewhere
like maybe knows the answer.
Right, or they have like a couple of leads where you could, logically jump in and start to analyze those and get a lot closer, even if you don't come to a concrete answer.
Yeah.
But part of this is not knowing, answers you can't question or questions you can't answer. Which would you rather have?
I mean, hard to say.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, do you want me to actually? I thought it was more like a hypothetical, but yeah,
it is. Okay. It is rhetorical unless you don't want it to be.
I'm good. I won't choose.
Okay.
So as you were saying, yeah.
Oh, well, I was just gonna quote a Rush song just then, but
go ahead.
Well, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
What a man. But before that, I thought that you may have had another topic that you kind of wanted to dive into.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I think we've kind of reached the end with this, unless you have something fun to sort of branch off of. I think maybe we go back to sleeping pills.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything that really ties in with all of this. I mean, I have another grievance that I could air, but it definitely doesn't tie in any of it.
I mean, go ahead. If you want to vent, feel free.
I want to get this off of my chest. Yeah. This morning or early afternoon, because fuck you. That's why. I go downstairs and I'm attempting to fill up a cup with ice for my nice, enjoyable Arnold Palmer. Okay. One of my favorite drinks, half iced tea, half lemonade.
Solid.
Refreshing. Yeah. And who wants it warm? No.
Yeah.
So I fill up my cup with ice, attempt to. I get a little bit of ice, and then nothing happens, but I am hearing the ice maker like trying to regurgitate ice. And I'm like, fine. My brother, who fills his cups like all the way up with ice, like, he must have gotten all the ice before I could get to it. So
he's like a fast food worker who doesn't want to give you a bunch of drink.
He could be employee of the forever at Sonic.
No cherry limeade for you, just a bunch of ice.
No, I love cherry limeade.
Yeah, like that stuff, the best.
Oh, but you gotta say no ice. Can't say low ice. as two up to
because
interpretation.
what is low? Like low in comparison to
Exactly.
an iceberg? Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to say no ice. None. Which is what I had in my cup this morning.
But that's not what you want. Especially when you're the one who's like filling it up.
Exactly. I'm supposed to be in control. But no,
Yeah.
I'll tell you who was in control. Definitely not me. The ice maker was in control.
Maker.
Because you know what it decided to do to me this morning, Chase, and viewers at home?
What, Joe? Enlighten us.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
So I imagine if it just didn't give you ice, it would have been a bit annoying, but not something you would air on a podcast that people would probably be listening to. I'm
good induction.
Imagining one of two situations. It either spat out like a giant chunk of ice that like dropped into your drink, spilled like all over, or it made something like disgusting, dropped it right into your drink.
Ooh, that would be even worse. However, thankfully that's not what I encountered today.
Okay, thank God.
Oh yeah, but it was equally as annoying.
Okay.
So all of the ice that turned out to be in there, the ice thief had not visited yet, thankfully. But it had all built up at some like bottleneck between the ice maker and the like hole in the fridge door.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And when I had my cup still held up to the paddle, whatever, the button.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, it's whatever. It's bringing ice from like all the way to the back. Whatever. I'll just be patient. No, it was continuously dumping ice into that bottleneck. And it had filled up with like a quart plus of ice. God. Mm-hmm. And so I opened the door like, oh, what in the hell is the problem? All of the ice spills all over inside the fridge onto the floor. None gets into my cup. Now I have a mess. And that's not even all of it yet, Chase, and viewers at home. Because when I clean up the mess inside the fridge, and then I pick up all the ice off the floor and I throw it in the sink, then I'm like, okay, I've unclogged the jam. And I like stick my hand up into the try and unclog the bottleneck, whatever. I get a couple pieces of ice out. I'm like, okay, sure, we're good. We got it. Go to fill up my cup again. Couple pieces of ice come out.
Okay.
Still nothing. And I didn't think I waited that long, but apparently I waited just long enough for the same thing to happen again. The same exact thing, Chase. So I had to clean up the same mess again. It was bigger this time. I guess I really got the floodgates going on the ice maker. And then I filled up another cup full of ice. It was like almost a half gallon of ice in total. It was not good.
That ice maker is out to get you, Joe.
That poor thing. Yeah. And then after all of that, I finally got to enjoy my Arnold Palm, which was good. I'm having another one right now.
That sounds great. Did the ice with that one go?
It. That one went fine because I think the ice maker, it learned its lesson.
Okay.
I think.
That's good.
I don't know.
Give it a good smack if it doesn't.
I should have done that regardless because, maybe then it wouldn't have been such a complete pain in the ass.
Okay. Here is a weird question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever had a garage fridge?
Yes. The beer fridge, you mean?
If that's what you want to call it.
It's always the beer fridge.
I mean, granted, it might have been the beer fridge, but I didn't see any. I don't think we have a garage fridge anymore. I haven't like when I walk in through the garage, I don't see it. I'd have to like double like it's it's like a thing that's been there for so long, or that was there, I guess, for so long that you just don't notice it.
Okay. Yeah, it's like your brain doesn't process your nose. It like intentionally unsees it. Okay.
Unless you look for it. But yeah.
Right, yeah. Actively.
But the thing I want to like say about that is like, isn't it weird how like human experience, like at least in like America basically, is so like there's so many things that are so similar between like a bunch of people.
Okay, yeah, like those just like nuanced
that people
things.
Just have the garage fridge.
Yeah,
like they put it there specifically
in the garage. Yeah, and
they don't get rid of the fridge.
Well, like it's such an American thing, not only just the like culture of abundance, to where not only do you have so much like food or drink or whatever that you need another place to put it and keep it cold.
Fair enough.
But you have another fridge. You have 2 households worth of cold things.
I mean, not necessarily.
Well, yeah, a lot of the times the garage fridge is pretty lax.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's, I don't know. I don't know if you can blame it on just, I don't know, the overabundance and I suppose just general like fortune that we have to, have as much as we do typically.
I mean,
more of a cultural thing.
You can explain it because like a fridge requires some installation, and like the garage, I guess, would be the place to put it if it's not going to be in the kitchen. But like, I guess like the thing is like that kind of makes sense. Like you don't necessarily want to throw out a fridge because those are expensive, and if you get that, if you're getting a new one,
get use out of it.
Yeah, might as well. But like, I think the thing that really messes me up is like things that like people did as kids. Like, did you like? I've seen a couple like memes of it, but like, did you ever do the thing where you look out the window when you're in a car ride and you see like the dude, like you make it like parkouring across like the whatever.
Oh yeah.
How did everyone like think of that? Like,
part of it might be a like superhero culture type of thing.
Well, yeah, but like, how did everyone think to like do that? Like
the brain does weird things when it's bored, man.
People argue sometimes for like a collective unconsciousness among like humans and stuff, and like things like that like lend a little bit more like credence to that sort of like theory because like the culture's the same. We see a lot of parkour or whatever. We see superheroes, that sort of thing. But to think to do like that specifically as opposed to like something
that particular
else,
thing,
like it's so strange, because like no one ever like says to do that. Like there's like unless
there's
I'm
no
wrong.
Explicit talk of it. I haven't encountered any.
Yeah, like unless people like mention it, people are like, what, whatever.
It's just
because there's like no reason to. There's no reason to. But like,
and like the same thing with like the raindrop race on your window. Like you look out your window on a rainy day. I pick that raindrop, and then he loses, and you're like, damn, that was a good race.
Yeah, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so curious as to how like everyone sort of like works
this,
like that.
Real quick, reminds me of a video, excuse me, that I saw a little while ago. It had been in my YouTube recommended forever. I didn't watch it for a while. Finally did. The Universal S.
Oh, the Stussy, or I mean,
yes, yeah,
from
Superman S, whatever. From what?
From like, I'm probably thinking of the wrong person. I think I've watched that video.
I think we're thinking of the same video.
Yeah, just stuff like that. Just weird, minuscule, like otherwise
things that have just been
important things
passed down.
Yeah, somehow.
Like, it makes like no sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Like some of it, especially like that S and other things. I can't think of any examples at the moment, but it's just, like a word of mouth type of.
Yeah. Like, I mean, at least the S is something visual. Like if someone sees that, they're like, okay, that'd be fun.
Right.
It's easy enough to copy. Yeah, but
yes.
it's memorable. But with things like that, like I might be going out on a limb here, just being like weird. I guess this is like another thing on a question.
Okay.
When you were ever like bored in class, did you ever think of like those, like those metal chairs, like those chairs with like the plastic tops and the metal legs?
Oh, the cursed like blue school chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. This might just be a me thing, but did you ever think of like, just imagine like the chair legs like growing out and you just like walking out of the classroom?
Oh, and like a school chair desk combo mech.
Kind of, yeah.
I didn't have that fantasy.
No, okay.
I'm going to call it a fantasy because it sounds wonderful.
I mean, yeah. That's basically what it was. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to see, like, where do those, like, universal kind of experiences, I guess, like, thoughts exist?
Where do they stem from? Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, I guess at least from what you're saying, that one is unique to myself, at least partially. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure someone else like thought of that.
It's not shared between us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, something like the S or the parkour or the, the raindrop race, that stuff is pretty universal. Like, I mean, that like but the chair thing, I guess, is not like. Well, but what is the difference?
Right, but they're all the same caliber. Yeah.
It's not like very similar. It's like something weird that you imagine, but
what's the differentiating factor?
Yeah. Like what makes everyone think raindrop race or, parkour guy, just jumping over everything, but like something sort of similar, like, your chair just walking out of the classroom with you in it.
Yeah. It's some just abstract, intangible concept of imagination and thought.
Yeah.
That just somehow is shared between like human culture.
Yeah. It is very strange to think of that sort of stuff. Yeah. A lot of fun thought exercises on this episode.
Oh yeah. Part of it, to kind of maybe probe it and answer, is just the magic of imagination, which is kind of lost on us adults, us older individuals that aren't so imaginatory, if that's a word it is now.
Yeah.
Maybe we've just lost the magic. Maybe we have, at least maybe there are so many thoughts in our young mind.
Yeah, potentially.
Some of them are just bound to, kind of have overlap. And then someone realized, hey, wait, me and like my buddy and his friend all have this like shared thing. Maybe other people had it. And for all I know, there are like 15 other ones, like the chair thing that you talked about, or some other thing that is rooted in 90% of people's childhoods that we just haven't talked about.
Yeah. Okay, in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, say if you did the chair thing. Yeah.
And list other like weird childhood things, and we'll reply.
Yeah, like that would be an interesting thing. Like what is the universal like imagination thing that you did, I guess?
Yeah, and this would be another good thing to do, like a Twitch stream or something on.
Yeah, that would be a fun Twitch stream topic.
Yeah, have that interaction.
Get everyone live, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we are on the air.
You're calling in. What do you have to say? Yeah.
I had the chair thing, dude.
Man. So it is universal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it might, like, the thing with it is that it might be a situation like the Mandela effect, where it's like, people like just misremember it. But at the same time,
they want to remember it.
Yeah. Like, I very distinctly remember doing the parkour or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's not like that's not a Mandela. That's not like I kind of remember that. Like I distinctly remember like looking out the window.
Concrete memories.
Yeah, like that's that. Yeah, it's more than like a Mandela effect. Kind of like this was named differently, or this dude had the Monopoly guy had a monocle.
No, it's
like,
Berenstain.
Yeah,
yeah,
like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like it. Mandela effect is more happenstance, but this is more like concrete, and that's what makes it so strange.
Yeah, just that whole psychological aspect of shared, yet unspoken nuances across cultures, across geographic borders. That's just really interesting to me.
Yeah, like it is. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I think the other like fun things about this is that like about like the weird phenomenons like people experience, and they sort of like universally attribute them to like something. Like, have you
Give
heard?
Me an example. Okay.
Yeah. I would like I need to know names before going to the show, but like there are these like events that go on across the world that people like record. It's like really like weird like sky sounds.
Oh, okay.
They sound like kind of like trumpets almost. Like it's weird. Like I think it's been proven to be like a hoax or something. But yeah, universal experiences like that, more like the Mandela effect. But
yeah. I think that those are two distinctly different things.
Yeah.
Like something that
it's more like current experience rather than like faulty memory.
Yeah. And something else that's very similar on that topic is like manufactured memory.
Yes. Yeah.
Because something like, especially something that you look at and remember a lot, the more that you recall that, then the more room for error there is. And on top of that,
you're recreating the memory each time.
Exactly. You're remembering that, which as all art or even just creative anything goes, there is a bias from your perspective looking at that.
It's almost like you're kind of like flanderizing your own memory. It's just like every time you like it's really interesting to think. Like, what are we missing from what we remember?
Right. And what do we think that we remember?
We don't.
That we
Yeah.
Here's a little anecdote.
Okay.
That this is kind of, I guess, toward the contrary, but still I think it's on the same subject.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. When I was 3 years old, probably, I was like 3 or 4. It was Christmas time. I think it was Christmas morning happened. And, you know, I was like 4, 3, whatever. My brother, like just over a year younger than me. He and I, of course, were, as soon as we woke up, we were in the living room, yelling and screaming, waiting for my parents to come and, you know, make their coffee and begrudgingly agree to let us finally open our present. And in that 5-minute like buffer zone, my brother, who was like 2 or 3, managed to pull over the entire Christmas tree onto me and entrap me beneath it.
Really?
No shit. There is a picture of it. I had crawled out by then, but there's a picture of the toppled tree and him. I think he's standing looking all like innocent in the corner. Maybe I'll put it on like Imgur or something. We'll link it. I don't know. But
do we want to show our faces? I don't know.
I can blur it. I'm not in that one. But regardless, my mom had remembered up until like 2 weeks ago that I pulled the tree over onto him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I knew the entire time. I was like, Mom, no, I swear
I swear he pulled it over on top of me. And I swear also that she used to say the same thing. But of course, there was that doubt in my mind up until that like 2 weeks ago period that, you know, I was like 3 or 4. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, this is my mom. She was there. She took a picture of it, or my dad did. Someone did. And, you know, they had been forming memories forever. I was just at the point in my life when I could, you know, have tangible memories, not just like, oh, I remember dad and mama. So I almost was bamboozled by my own mother.
For shame.
Into a false memory. For shame.
That is okay. I mean, I guess also very interesting. But other thing I want to think about, what is that like your earliest memory?
Oh no, I'll tell you what my earliest memory is. This is, I think, a fun thing, just even amongst friends, because it's never something like important.
Yeah, no.
It's some weird tangential experience. But my first memory, at least as I remember it being my first, is my family and my whole extended like dad's side of the family. We had all like gone on this big family trip to Henry Dorley's Zoo up in Omaha.
Okay.
And I was probably like 3. I don't know if my sister had been born yet. She's like 2.5 years younger than me.
Okay.
So if she was born, she was pretty much a newborn.
Gotcha.
And maybe, you know, a couple months away. But whatever. I was like 3 years old. And I just have this very vivid yet short memory of me and my brother lying in like the hotel bed, watching whatever like tube TV they had, watching Little Einstein. And that's the memory. That's just me, my brother, in our pajamas, watching Little Einsteins at this like grubby motel. And then my dad was like in the, dare I say, kitchen area doing something.
Mm-hmm. I gotta like I can't really put earliest memory because there's like, I guess, like fainter stuff, but my earliest like distinct memory is back when I mean I don't know when this was. It would have been like when I was 3 or 4 or something.
Right. Okay.
I want to so my family used to have this really old computer. It was like a straight out of the 90s, like big, like,
oh hell yeah,
fat box and like gross looking keyboard.
Oh dude, yeah, I had that tube monitor and shit too.
Yeah.
I can hear the keys and feel them stick to my fingers.
And we had it in my parents' bedroom for some reason. It was in like the weirdest spot. It was
that's where computers had to be.
Yeah. It was also on like a very 90s, like, why would this even be made table? It was like, yeah, it was like gray metal. I kind of remember it being like a almost brownish color, but then on top,
all right,
like there is kind of like a metal kind of bottom to the desk.
All right.
But there's like kind of like a cushion on top, which is like really straight. Yeah, like that. I don't know.
Table for like thing.
Yeah, like it was like decently sized. It was enough to hold it. Like it was enough like space to hold the computer, but the legs were like spindly or whatever. I have no idea how it like held it up. But I mean, that's not really.
It wasn't like anchored into the wall.
No. It definitely was not, because it is not still there.
Damn.
Yeah.
But sorry, as you were setting this up.
But the important part of this was that I was playing Webkinz.
Yes.
Yes. My
Fuck yes.
My grandma, who we called Nanny.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she is no longer with us, unfortunately. But she got me this like green frog webkin.
Okay.
Yeah,
really very important side note here.
Uh-huh.
Was it like the frog that was like on all four legs and had like that very like distinct forest green like carpet hair?
Yes, 100%. That was it.
Okay, because my first Webkinz was like, as far as I know, at least at that time, the only other frog. It was the spotted frog, which sat up, like, I guess, on its butt with, I mean, it was like perched, I guess, kind of like a frog. It had its like front arms down in front, and then the back legs just kind of splayed out like, yeah, your frog, as far as I remember it, just was kind of just there. It just had its legs out like a bear rug almost. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird because like I've talked with other people about Webkinz. I think that was like the only one I ever had.
I had 30 of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. To a point.
But yeah, like a lot of people had that one. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was one of the iconic ones.
It's another shared experience, but that one at least makes sense.
Yeah, that and Club Penguin were very big.
Yeah, back in the day, I was a like whatever the ninja card game and what Club Penguin. I was the master.
Oh, I honestly never really got into Club.
Really?
Yeah,
that's too bad.
Was infatuated with Web.
Yeah, other way around for me.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm sorry, I keep interrupting your memory.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's all good. Like, basically, I was playing Webkinz, and I want to say my mom was there, like, next to me.
Yeah.
That one I'm a little less certain of. But yeah, it was like the first time I ever used a computer.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that was crazy. I made my whole account by myself. I had a extremely weak password. I remember that. And I used that password for a very long time. Since updated to something I think is a little bit more strong. But
there you go.
Yeah.
Download LastPass today.
We haven't got any advertisements yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Other thing I want to say though.
Yes.
Did you ever talk with people when you were younger about like video game like secrets and stuff?
Not necessarily. I've never really been a big gamer.
Like, I mean, not even video game secrets, but I'm talking more like Webkinz stuff.
Oh,
like yeah, you get cut.
There was always that weird like part of YouTube that like you had to just stumble across, but like just all the YouTube poop that was out, especially about like Webkinz and stuff. It's like, oh, if you do this exact sequence at the vet, then they'll kill your animal.
Do you remember the Webkinz graveyard?
Oh, dude, that is so cursed. Yes.
I know that was so crazy because like
that
I remember
type of stuff.
Like okay, you might have gotten it from the internet, but I got it like the classic way, like
word of mouth.
After like elementary school, I went to like an after school program thing. Just to hang out basically for a bit. So my parents, had time to get me.
Get off work and,
So when I was in like first grade, I was hanging out with like the second graders, and they were older.
Big shot on campus.
So they were cool. And I remember this like one girl was telling me about like all these crazy like secrets. Like there was like there's like a Webkinz graveyard. And did you know if he like leveled up your Pokemon to like a level 101, they like die? If you leave them in the PC for too long, they just expire. And
if you die in the game, you die in real life.
I mean, you don't die, your Pokemon do.
You may as well, though.
Yeah, but I'd
the time you put into that?
Yeah, fair enough. But like...
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, like that sort of stuff is like crazy because they would always tell me like ghost stories too. Like they would tell me, like, if you remember, like, do you remember those books where it's like scary stories to tell in the dark?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They basically would like, and I never actually read those books, but they would basically tell me like abridged stories from them.
Yeah.
And I just like ate it up, and it was so like,
Young,
like it was cool to hear like the creepy stuff, and
because you're never really told that.
Yeah, like I'm not really like into horror. Like I don't watch a bunch of horror movies or anything.
Yeah,
but like a good spooky story is always fun.
Oh yeah, just a well-crafted yarn.
Great thing to be talking about in May. This is a October episode, but
happy half birthday Halloween.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, we're halfway there. Good enough is any time. But yeah, I think that's what kind of like started. I was liked sort of the spooky stories. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I definitely did.
Did you have? Point. I mean, did you ever have anyone that like told you ripped off stories from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Maybe not particularly from that franchise, I suppose.
But just spooky stories.
But I remember, this one in particular. I don't really, I mean, like, there were others, but I don't remember them as concretely as this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because the girl that told me the story I had a crush on at the time. I don't know. That part's true, but I don't know if that's an influencing factor.
When was this, Joe?
This was like 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a while ago, back in the good old days. But regardless, it was just this story about, it was a pretty generic horror story, but I hadn't really heard any well-crafted ones. But, you know, it's the classic, like, oh, the babysitter comes over and then blah, 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 goes like, kid disappears in the house, whatever, babysitter tries to go find him, blah, 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 babysitter, like, jumps up, it's real creepy at the end. I'm not telling the story right at all, but, you know, something to that effect. That one, like, scared the shit out of me. Maybe not, like, scared the shit out of me, but it was one of those, like, almost psychological horror things that just stays in your brain and makes you just kind of a little paranoid at all times.
Yeah. Like, I think the funny thing is I used to be, like, really afraid of the dark.
Well, everyone did, yeah.
Well, yeah, well, not even, like, just, like, the dark, you know. I used to always think there'd be, like, monsters coming out and stuff. I didn't need to sleep paralysis demon. Yeah. I made them up on my own. But I think the funny thing is that, like, the way I actually eventually got around it, like, I think this was sometime in, like, early middle school. I, like, I just imagined, like, getting up and beating the crap out of, like, every monster.
There you go, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, they were dead. They can buy it. And if there's any like 13-year-olds listening,
for whatever reason. First of all, probably shouldn't. But second of all, that's how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 things that I want to kind of go off of there.
Yeah.
One, just real quick before I forget, in terms of the like monster thing.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and I, when we were young, shared a room. This was I was like probably 5 or 6. My brother had a very similar, like, you know, monster under the bed type of thing, fear.
Uh-huh. And
my mom, being the genius that she is. Hi, Mom. I hope you're watching this. I told you to. Please watch this.
Yeah.
She created patented, and my parents were like innovators of this, just creating absolute nonsense shit that we thought was real, just to like not manipulate us, but just like, you know, get us to do what they wanted us to do or stop doing what they wanted us to do.
Yeah. I got a good story for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have another thing that comes up to mind, but whatever. Yeah. So to alleviate this problem, my mom just took a regular spray bottle that you know, like water plants with, or like spray at the dogs if they're barking. Just filled it up with water. I think put like a little red food coloring in it or something.
Yeah.
and put on like a sticky label and wrote monster spray on it. No shit, this is real.
Sounds like a Goosebumps episode, Joe.
Maybe that's where she gets her inspiration. But yeah, she would come in like, and my brother could not sleep for a while unless he had this sprayed in his room, like every crevice, every cranny by my mom. Going around just spraying water that says monster spray. And I think he like requested for a while that she keep it like right by his bed. And then and only then could he be at peace. And I believe that shit too. I was like 6. But you know, I wasn't.
So your parents were like
by the monster.
Exorcists, basically.
Pretty much, dude.
Monster hunters.
For all I know, it's holy water in there.
Yeah. Holy water, food coloring. Holy food coloring. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they sell that at like Catholic bookstores or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows? But sorry, your similar thing.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I wouldn't say it's like monster spray, but do you know the thing?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember, like, you've had the thing where like someone did like the pull your thumb off? Yeah.
Got your nose. Similar.
No, not got your nose, but like, you know, where you put your like thumb through your like middle and index fingers, and then
and you're like, oh, it's disappearing.
Well, then you rip off your So the first time anyone did this to me was I was like, oh my god, like 6 or something, and my uncle like came over.
It's always an uncle. I knew it.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Classic trope.
And you know, he was more of the fun uncle. I have another uncle who is very super smart.
Me too.
Definitely not.
Maybe
him.
Not super smart, but Yep.
So I mean, I don't think this was like the only time he kind of tried to pull something like this on me, but like it was like the only time it like really worked.
It's in the book.
So he did the thumb thing, and I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know if I like saw it wrong. Again, my eyes are not good. I don't know. Like, I think I'd like to say I had better eyesight when I was younger.
But
because I don't remember stuff being really like an issue to me until like semi recently.
Okay, yeah.
But like, I don't know what it might have been, like the lighting. I don't know if he tried to like rub something on his thumb to make it look weird. But like when he pulled it off, I thought like I saw like bone and like blood and stuff coming out, and I just like screamed at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, bloody murder.
And and it was so funny because I screamed and ran away, and then my parents like went over like, what are you doing?
Like, what was that, dude? You're my brother. Stop freaking out my kid.
Brother-in-law, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but oh my god.
One of your parents' brothers.
Yeah, and that like memory is like so funny looking back on it.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
Oh man, another one of my parents' great inventions. Now that I feel like I have to disclose it.
Yeah, was
the bower.
The bower.
The bower. Let me elaborate.
It's a German word.
So it definitely isn't on purpose. I'll tell you that because my dad came up with it and he barely speaks English.
That's good.
But
yeah,
das ist good. Wiener Schnitzel, Guten Tag, whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But regardless, this was during the time in my childhood, and like particularly me. I'm the oldest. I'm the trailblazer for all the life events, like, you know, riding your bike and learning to swim and all that other stuff that parents
same here.
love. Yeah. So one of the less praised but still important aspects of growing up is transitioning from the bath to the shower.
Yeah.
And when you're taking those baths, nothing's better than taking your like bath crayons and drawing dumb pictures on bathtub.
100%.
Like slamming your like whatever Hot Wheels bathtub set around for life.
Yeah.
And, you know, my parents put in a very conscious effort to, you know, ease that transition, they bought me like a kit like for kids. It had like a bunch of like weird like plastic toy tool things, I guess, whatever. I remember it exists. I don't remember what was in it, but it existed. It kind of worked, you know, but especially because like my brother shortly thereafter was also kind of in the same boat as me. And we just didn't want to take showers because they're not fun. And you don't like being clean when you're a kid. I want to go jump in the mud and, you know, stain the carpet. Come on, Dad.
Be disgusting, yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Dad. But his invention, to, you know, because you got to make it fun for a kid to care, was the Bower. A brilliant combination of a bath
and a shower. Oh my God.
And I realized this the other day. Like, this is only something that you could either come up with, one, as a very distraught parent looking for any chance of hope in the rough to get your kids to stay remotely, or it's inadvertently created when you're in a deep pit of self-despair and you sit in the tub just with the shower head on you for inexplicable amounts of. Those are the only two scenarios in which the Bower could be.
Okay.
And we ate that shit up. We loved it. You fill the bathtub up like you sit in it like a bath. Shower head is on. You get the benefits of a bath and a shower. It is not economical at all. But we ate that shit up.
Yeah.
And eventually we started taking showers. And
have you taken a Bower recently?
I have not taken a Bower.
Yeah, no, I mean,
especially no bathtub I've ever seen is like clean enough for me to want to fill it all the way up.
Yeah, basically.
And like get water into the back part.
Bathtubs get kind of gross.
Yeah.
And
you don't acknowledge the back half of bathtub, whatever, you know.
Like basically like showers are for, you know, business. If you want it, like if you want to take a bath, you might as well like when you want to take a bath, it's like never for actually like cleaning yourself. It's more just like I want
to a luxury.
Sit in the water, put on some candles, have some nice music.
Actually
get
do anything. Cucumber eyes.
Yeah. And at that point, you might as well have like a jacuzzi or something. But
a tub.
But yeah.
I suppose if you use your bathtub as a bathtub, not a bathtub that has a shower head mounted above it, like 90% of the showers I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like we have, like in my guest bathroom, we have one of the like standing, like whatever, like box showers, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad rush built that because we were getting a refinance on our house. And to get the value up, he really wanted to get the bathroom like finished because he had torn it up. Basically, long story short, house was built by these builders that had no idea what they were doing. It's like first house they ever did. There's a vaulted ceiling in the kitchen at the back of the house. Why would you want a vaulted ceiling there? I don't know. The floorboards in that guest bathroom, there are like 4 of these like 2x4s, or like 2x6s that are like put together face to face to face to face to get this like 8-inch by 6-inch cube that just extends all the way down the floor. And they had carved through that to get a pipe to fit through. It's a nightmare.
What?
Yeah, it's a weird house, Chase. It was built in the 70s. It was weird. Builders had no idea what they were doing. And because of this crap job that they did, and this has been confirmed.
Okay.
Like the first owner that wanted the house to be built chased the builders down the street after they built it. I'm not kidding.
See,
And this is how I know that this is true. These are the facts. My dad is a ham radio operator. He's always been into it, like since his late teens. He's not super big into it anymore. He still does stuff, but especially like in his 20s and like early mid 30s before, like kids were like a super big issue. At least in terms of time management, that was a big hobby of his. And he talked to a bunch of people and, sent them like little postcards with his info on it. It's a thing that you do.
Yeah.
Kind of like pen pals, but whatever.
Yeah.
One person that he had talked to, he was getting down, like just chit-chatting, shooting the shit, if you will, and figured out that this guy had lived in like the same area as us. And like, oh, I live on this side of town. He's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I used to live on that side of town too. And come to find out, that guy was the original owner of our house.
Oh my God.
My dad met him just on some random satellite that, I mean, it couldn't have been too far away, whatever. Yeah, small world. And while my dad had him like on the radio, he asked him that question to like pretty much to his face. There is a rumor in the neighborhood that after the house was built, that you chased the builders down the street. And the dude starts laughing. He's like, oh, absolutely. I chased them down the street. They did an awful job.
I mean, what can you do at that point?
Yeah, what do you do? You tell them to tear it down and build it again?
Yeah, no, you rush them down and
yeah.
That is one of the best images that I've ever imagined in my life, because I've never seen this guy. I don't know any of the circumstances around it, but just this like middle-aged guy chasing a bunch of ragtag newbie like construction workers down the street. Just great imagery.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we are closing in on no. We're not done yet.
No, I just completely forgot that this is like all a rabbit hole.
We are closing in on the hour and a half mark. So okay. I think it is kind of important because there's definitely more tangents we can go on. We have a good
absolutely.
At least two more big ones we can probably do.
Sure.
But I think we need to start thinking about like sleeping pills again, and what's the deal with sleeping pills? What's the deal with airline?
What's the deal with sleeping pills? Why does every impression of me not sound like me? What's the deal?
And
my Jerry Seinfeld impression.
I can maybe do a Barry B. Benson. I don't know.
Do it.
Okay, hold on. What's like the line? Yellow, black. I got the perfect report card. All B's.
We're all cousins.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's been too long since I saw that.
Jesus Christ, B movie. Anyway, sleeping pills. So, Joe, I take it you have a spot of insomnia. Just based off your experience. Yeah,
you could call it that.
I would say it like maybe not. Yeah, maybe not like severe insomnia or anything, but like it's hard to sleep sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Like as of late, past couple days, my sleep schedule has started to derail.
My sleep schedule
pretty great for a while.
Always derailed. So I mean,
the life of a gamer.
I mean, not even. Like even if it's really weird. Like I just like sleep schedule for me is just like not great because like I always end up wanting to stay up late and go to sleep at a stupid time
it immediately.
But the thing is that the few times I like reset myself, I stay up for like a stupidly long amount of time so I can actually go to sleep.
And you're like, I'm going to bed at this time. Yeah,
and I have to stay up for an extra like 24 hours. That's dumb.
It's horrendous.
It is painful. I don't like doing it. I've recently defaulted to getting like 2 hours of sleep and just waking up at a point where I can go to sleep at it. Yeah. But
that's better.
But the thing is that like sometimes like I notice this might just be like a Pavlovian kind of response, but like the morning always makes me super tired and I always get like super like amped at night. Like it's weird.
No,
like,
I vibe.
I'm like a proto vampire. Like I don't burn in the sun or anything. I just get super duper tired.
Yeah. Part of that may just be like, I'm kind of just. Well, first of all, it's summer. You don't really have anything to do. It's easy to get off schedule.
Well, no.
Also,
that's always the case. Like I always have that sort of. Like it might just be like my theory, at least for myself, is that. I usually end up eating something at night, and like when it's like carbs or whatever.
Absolutely.
That I mean that
always carbs.
Easy explanation. But as far as like the getting stupidly tired in the morning, even if I've actually like slept a little bit and just like wake up at like a normal time, I just get super tired sometimes. I think, like I said, it might be a Pavlovian response because I usually like for school or whatever, when I have to wake up stupidly early, I keep going to sleep super late, so I just don't get any sleep. So I usually am tired in the ungodly hours in the morning when I wake up anyway. So it just might be my body saying like, yo, it's that time again. Get back to sleep.
That's fair.
And I don't have like the stress or anything or like the necessity to go and do whatever. So I might just be like, okay, whatever, sleep time. Ruin my sleep schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I occasionally get regular insomnia too, or I just cannot get to sleep. That's more of like a one night, like a month or two kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
It sucks, but it's not common enough.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But
sleeping pills.
Have you heard? There's something I do want to talk about, kind of related to sleeping pills. I think I might have talked to you about this before, but have you heard of fatal familial insomnia?
I think maybe.
Okay. So
can you
if I talk a little more about it, you'll probably remember it because I do remember talking to you about this at some point.
Okay. It's probably happened. Yeah.
It is a prion disease.
Oh goodness!
Yeah.
I'm really shady on it, but you definitely talked to me about it.
I did. But the crazy thing, and prion diseases are super scary. I can like talk about them, day in day out.
Oh yeah, they're mortifying.
They are, for the unaware, they are essentially prions are misshapen proteins. They're
wonderful.
Yeah.
They're not. They're all.
Yeah. So I mean, proteins can get misshapen in a number of ways. They can denature due to like temperature or like pH level and whatever solution they're in, that sort of thing. But sometimes proteins mess up in a certain way and then they become prions. And the thing about prions is that they spread. They have the capability when they hit another protein.
I forgot about that.
That's what makes them scary. When a prion protein hits another protein, it basically messes it up in the same way. Or maybe not the same way necessarily. Granted, again, not a professional. Take a lot of this with a grain of salt. But they mess up any other protein they touch. So, I mean, proteins are very important. They are responsible for like a lot of biological processes. And if you have messed up proteins, you're dead. So
pretty much, long term, you're dead.
That's kind of the important part. The scary thing, though, about fatal familial insomnia, and I mean, really, this is something that happens with any sort of prion disease. They take a stupidly long time to kill you, like years and years. And fatal familial insomnia is a extremely rare disease. It only happens in a few people. There is a typical version of a prion disease in humans. It's known as Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, and it sucks. It slowly kills you over time. You lose mental capacity or whatever. But it's because your brain becomes like spongy.
So reverse Alzheimer's?
I would have to know more about Alzheimer's. But basically, like if you know the sort of scientific name for mad cow disease, it is bovine spongiform disease. It's known as spongiform because when the proteins mess up, and they sort of mess up in that way, they break like all the cells so that it forms like holes in the cells. Like it makes the whole tissue more of like porous and holy. If you think about it, if you've taken biology before, there are saturated fats and unsaturated fats.
I've not gone that far into bio, but
yeah. Basically, saturated fats are like stuff in like meat. And the just molecule. Like dense. The molecule for saturated fats, or any fats really, is formed out of a fatty acid attached to chains, basically. And in saturated fats, those chains are all straight, so they can pack together very neatly. Unsaturated fats, which are almost always liquid, it's like margarine and stuff. They have
margarine or butter, because margarine's weird.
No, margarine specifically. That is an unsaturated fat. Unsaturated fat are typically less natural, and they have a kink in their chain, which basically means that they don't pack together as nicely. Saturated fats are usually solid. Unsaturated, usually liquid.
Okay.
So it's sort of a similar situation, as far as I understand, with that kind of with prion disease, with fatal familial insomnia. It messes up your brain cells specifically. That's kind of the important part. So much that they turn into sponges. And the scary thing about fatal familial insomnia is that the part that it specifically messes up is the part of your brain that is responsible for letting you sleep.
Wonderful.
So, it gets worse. It gets way worse.
It does. Go on.
So it starts as like normal insomnia. You can't sleep for one night every once in a while. But then it sort of progresses. You can't sleep more and more, and eventually it gets to a point where you physically cannot sleep like at all.
That's not good.
Yeah. The crazy thing,
but I'd say it's not good.
Yeah, the crazy thing, and how this kind of ties back to sleeping pills. Again, a long ramble that only ties back to the end. Is that like doctors have had like these patients before. They tried to medically induce sleep and like comas and stuff, and none of it works. You physically cannot be unconscious when you have this.
Okay, was this that story that you told me about? Yeah, like every time that they had tried this, but every time they'd like tried to save a person's, life from this thing, it didn't work. But then that like one group of doctors managed to save like this one girl, but she was like in a coma.
That was those rabies.
Rabies. That's right.
We can talk about that in a second. But yeah. So I mean, the reason why this ties back to sleeping pills is sleeping pills are not going to help you if you have fatal familial insomnia. That's
Well, there you go. Fun test you can do at home, kids.
Yeah. So, I mean, luckily for everyone,
ask your parents' permission before going online.
This is not something you should worry about as a person. This is something that you would probably know about if it happens. If you get extremely unlucky, I'm talking about like you win the lottery, the negative lottery, I guess, like a couple times over.
Yeah, the wheel of misfortune.
Yeah. If you get this, basically.
Man, everyone's a winner.
Yeah. Other thing that's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a specific disease, but I've heard that there is a specific like class of drug, kind of like one of the ones that like doctors prescribe. It's not a good drug.
Like an opioid type of thing?
No, it's not for an opioid. If I remember correctly, it is something for like yeast infections, if people get that.
Oh, I can't speak on that, but
yeah, I would hope not. I would hope not.
I think guys can get them. It's just really rare.
Yeah, no, they can.
Okay.
And
I'm no doctor.
There is a YouTube video series of a guy who took one of these drugs for a yeast infection that he had.
Yeah.
And he had essentially like a bunch of the same symptoms as this sort of fatal familial insomnia. I don't know if it is expressed exactly in the same way.
From like a protein standpoint?
Well, I mean, yeah, that and in the same way as the macro kind of version. Like, I don't know if it works exactly the same, because the way the guy described it in his videos is that he, like, anytime he tried to go to sleep, it would, like, his body would just, like, jolt himself awake. And it's, like, physically painful when he tries to go to sleep. At the same time, I think fatal familial insomnia is more like you just physically cannot. It's not like that it's painful or anything.
You just lie there and nothing.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen.
That's not good.
Yeah. So both of them are spooky, but don't take research the drugs that you're prescribed.
Yes. Talk to your doctor about whatever.
If you're spooked, get a second opinion. This is not like an anti-vaxxer kind of thing, but just be careful with yourself.
Goodness, no.
Yeah, no.
Know what you're getting yourself into.
Know what you're getting yourself into, but vaccines are good. So
they are, yes. Get your everything vaccinated. My dogs are going to the vet today. They're getting their dog shots.
That's good.
Yeah, I think they've already left. I think they are at the vet or en route back to my house.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So do you want to hear about rabies?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know where we go off of this, but
well,
I guess you can go back to sleeping pills after, but.
Well, the whole point is to get away from sleeping pills, which I mean we kind of did with Webkinz.
Well, yeah, but we need to think like what is the opposite?
Think critically, yeah.
So I'll talk about rabies for a second, and you
okay.
You can think. I have an idea as to what the opposite of sleeping pills are. We can have our small debate, I guess, as to what is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so rabies.
Yeah, rabies.
Very, very fun disease. It is very good at what it does.
No sarcasm.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Extremely good at what it does. Luckily, we don't have as much problems with it as before, because we don't let it get to do what it's good at. That's this kind of thing.
There you go. Yeah.
There is the reason why rabies deaths are so low in the United States and in other developed countries is because we do have a sort of rabies protocol. Whenever you are bitten by a wild animal, you go in, you get the shots. You just 100%. You like no risk at all.
Regardless,
because rabies is not a disease you want to tangle with.
Oh no.
Let me tell you. So, as Joe was saying earlier, once rabies symptoms develop, there has been only, to my knowledge at least, one case ever that has actually survived. Rabies exists like the way rabies works is it's a virus that exists like in your body for a long time, period of months to potentially like a year or two. And essentially it just sort of gathers resources that entire time. It just kind of works it up. And then it all like launches immediately to your brain. Fun fact, it is known as hydrophobia by some people. Because you can't, like, it stops you from swallowing water basically.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean,
like physically from swallowing water.
Yeah, like it's not like you can't like you could probably be like forced to it like by some capacity. You probably don't want to get that close to. Yeah, you probably don't want to get that close to a person with rabies. But anyway,
right.
I digress. But yeah, it stops it because it attacks the brain immediately, and it does stop that part at least. Because water can drown out the virus, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. It just dams itself off.
Yeah, like it stops the ways that would potentially be able to stop it. Even then, I am not so certain that if any water would be able to make it into the system, it would stop it. Because at that point, you would be severely brain damaged already. But
yeah. Well... Don't get rabies. Get shot.
Don't get rabies. Yeah. If you get bitten by a wild animal ever, even if you're not sure, go in for your shots. Rabies protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, keep digressing. That's the point. The only time a person with rabies symptoms has ever survived the onset is the Milwaukee protocol case.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I recall that.
And I've been to Milwaukee before. Decent place.
Go Brewers.
Yeah. It would have been cool to see the hospital or whatever was performing there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, did not have the time for that. But
yeah, I don't know if anyone's in Milwaukee that long.
Yeah, fair enough. I did get to see the Milwaukee University, though. They showed us some cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, back to the point. The Milwaukee protocol was when they essentially induced a coma into a girl, as you said, and they let the rabies symptoms essentially run their course.
Mm-hmm.
The body has a reaction to it, and it only really occurs once, rabies becomes active. It's like plague ink, but in your body,
you let it lie dormant and build up.
We wait until it spreads, and then you start activating the brain death, whatever.
Yeah,
that's how rabies works. But it's on a singular person level rather than the whole world.
Yeah.
But yes, so the antibodies do develop, of course, over time, but usually by the time it takes about 2 weeks for that to happen, typically for any other type of disease. By the time that happens with rabies, you'd be dead. So typically, this girl just got very lucky, evidently.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was only ever successful that one time, and it would have been only because of the girl's herself body. I don't know what the deal is with that. She could have had something special about herself. It could have been something special about the strain. It could have been weaker.
Yeah, some mutation either in the virus or in somewhere in her.
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
Yeah, but they've tried it again a couple times. Didn't work. They've since retired it.
Damn.
But yeah, so that is the Milwaukee protocol, and that is rabies for you. Rabies is spooky.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, prawn diseases are spooky. There's a lot of spooky diseases, but those are digressions for future episodes.
Oh yeah. Well then.
So sleeping pills. What is the antithesis? As per last episode, we already discerned that the societal antithesis is coffee, and vice versa.
Right.
So we
can't just have 2 episodes going back and forth.
Yeah. That would be funny, but not make a good podcast.
No.
So we need to think from a different angle. What do you think, Joe? Yeah. What is your conclusion? What is the opposite?
Well, let me tell a little anecdote here.
Okay. Go right on.
I swear it's on track, and if it's not, rope me back in.
It's all good. I've been talking for way too long.
Okay.
You need to
just
bring one
say
in
anything.
Here. Bring one in here, Joe.
The timbre of your voice is just so heavenly, Jay.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh yeah. But I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
Earlier on in this podcast,
Okay.
I constructed an origami crane.
Okay.
And it's a very nice crane. I put a short video of it up on our Instagram story. It's very nice. It's got colored paper, it's got like flowers on it.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But that is a very like meditative, relaxing, to some, infuriating at times.
Okay.
But kind of, I don't know. It's one of those simple brain things that can, just the monotony of it and the very straightforward, simplistic nature of it. As long as you're not getting into like ridiculous, hardcore origami stuff, it can be, it can be pretty soothing. So that made me think, well, if this is something that helps me to kind of, connect, I suppose, a little bit with myself and kind of, abandon the superficial anxieties of whatever's going on,
Okay.
Maybe we approach this sleeping pill antithesis from more of a personal.
That's a good one. Mine is not as reflective as that because that is more an antithesis on a level of like what it is, because like sleeping pills don't remove the problem, they just help you. But origami, getting in touch with yourself,
Oh yeah, I've been soul searching lately.
Yes, soul searching. That gets rid of like the insomnia, the anxiety, what keeps people up at night. So maybe the real antithesis.
You know what?
What?
Yeah. No, I was anticipating what you were gonna say. I was jumping the gun a little bit.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is metal music.
Oh.
Mostly because I want to hear you talk about it next episode. But
yes.
And it kind of like it can keep you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's loud. It's rambunctious.
I like your answer better, mostly because like I feel like you're gonna say it's really not the antithesis of sleeping pills because there's like 50 subgenres that which encourage sleep. I fall asleep to metal music every night.
I was Are you a psychic?
I don't know. I used to think I was able to tell the future, but
yeah. Because to answer your I guess your prophecy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of different types of metal, as we kind of dove into last week. But some, instead of the very hardcore, tremolo, very fast, guttural death metal stuff, there is, kind of an opposite.
Doom metal?
Doom metal in a sense, yeah. And then subsets of that. That doom metal is kind of the overarching like umbrella term.
Okay.
And yeah, I could get into nitty gritty, whatever buzzword, like genre, whatever elitist crap. But yeah, there's stuff that's like really pretty, there's really tranquil stuff. And then there's also some music, like particularly what comes to mind, like right now, if anyone wants to check it out or has heard of them before, Ohm is a really good, like meditative, like not necessarily like metal band, I guess. I mean, they kind of fall more into the like stoner rock scene. Their bassist and singer is in stoner metal juggernaut Sleep. And it's his side project. It's really interesting. It's got kind of a traditionalist like backbone to it, I suppose. It's like almost like hymn-ish, hymnal in a sense. It's very kind of I don't know, it's repetitive and like it lulls you into this kind of like just groove.
See, now it's your turn to explain something very technical.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very, very technical. But yeah, there's that stuff. And on the complete other end of the spectrum again is like there's this blackened like sludge metal band that is disgusting that I love. They're called Primitive Man. And as I have heard them described by friends before, they make you want to take a shower, which is true. I caught them live once. I do it again. Wonderful. But it's just a super slow, super down-tuned, guttural, just like crushing sound. And the notes carry on for forever. And it's just this big lumbering, hulking, sonic, like, just force. And then every now and then they've got like black metal-ish, really fast, you know, metal, like traditional, fast, heavy, loud, whatever metal stuff in there too. But like I've fallen asleep to that band a surprising number of times. And it is by no means easy listening music.
Not like us.
But what?
You put the easy listening tag on Bandcamp, so I mean.
Oh, yeah, of course I did. I didn't know what else to put, honestly. I mean, you know, this is something that you can have on in the background. Like,
easy listening about horrible diseases and rich people from olden times. And then Joe
days.
Talking about music.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. Metal, and I guess just music in general. Metal is definitely like what I listen to the most of. But I like stuff from like King Crimson, Pink Floyd to like weird like 90s alternative stuff like Ben Folds and similar.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean all over the place. I was raised on a bunch of different music. But
yeah.
That
honestly,
whole musical realm. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can keep going.
Okay.
I got something to say after.
I don't know if I trust your judgment here. But that, you know, that musical sphere, I suppose, of my life is it's in a similar kind of, I don't know, it's a similar thing in my life as like origami. Because, you know, they're both like hobbies, of course, in a very simplistic sense.
So which one is more opposite then?
I would say origami.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That'd be an interesting topic, I guess, too.
Yeah,
What really is origami?
Oh, man. I am, or have for the past like month or so, just like been getting into origami. But
really,
it's official. It's official, Chase. I do origami now.
You're an origamist.
Origami. I'm an origamist. I bought like a starter kit. That's me smacking the starter kit right there. Comes on a box. It's got a book with like how-tos on like really like insultingly basic stuff that doesn't even really look like anything. So I haven't made anything out of the book. But it also has this box, and it comes with 162 sheets of folding paper of questionable quality. It is not completely square, and it's semi-infuriating. But I also have another pack that I have not opened of just origami paper. This is what this sounds like. Real solid. 200 sheets.
I did. So, I think I've only ever done like origami like a few times in my life. The one time I really remember it is so remember when I dressed up in the mole costume?
Yes. The fingers.
The thing, yeah.
The talons.
So
yes.
for the audience who may or may not know this,
here's backstory.
We had a class a few years back, and the teacher is very interesting. Very intense guy, very cool guy.
Yeah, very cool. Just very
inspirational.
Very atypical from what you would think of most teachers.
Very like into it.
Yeah,
and we had
unconventional.
Yeah, we had like a fun holiday for this class, and you can get extra credit by doing a few things. Like you can make a mole related like food item or like drawing
I think we can say what the thing is.
Yeah.
Can we say what the thing is?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can say what the thing is.
It's mole day. It's a chemistry thing.
Yeah. So
6 times 10 to the 23rd, whatever.
Yeah. Moles are
It's
important
pointless. The mole
for
day
chemistry.
Yes.
But
It's a quantity.
yeah. So so I looked at like the extra credit sheet. And that class wasn't too bad. I think
No, not really.
I think that first semester I did end up with a B, but that was mostly because I was being lazy.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
I looked at that extra credit sheet, and I guess like the thing is with me is that I always do either like the biggest thing or like nothing at all.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're gonna do it right. Go big or go home.
Or go home is like my motto
Absolutely.
at this point.
That fits you, yeah.
So basically, I was like, so the mole costume, was like the biggest extra credit thing
Oh yeah.
there was, and I'm like, wouldn't it be stupid, like if I did this, and it
Wouldn't it just be magical?
yeah. So I went out.
So he did.
So I went out to like Michael's Party City.
Oh, yeah.
I collected all the ingredients, and then the night before I made like it was honestly the best mole costume that has probably ever come out of Mole Day.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure.
not-
It
that
was
is
pretty
not-
all out.
Not a high bar though, not even remotely.
There's not a bar to
Yeah,
set.
They're barely. Yeah, no. Like I think. So our teacher always does it because he's that type of guy too.
Yeah, he's
And
very
then-
passionate, and that passion, trickles down to the student.
Yeah. And
Reagan
then,
couldn't make it work. This guy does.
yeah. So yeah, and there was one other person who did, but like it was easily the best. And the part that I remember doing, I had to make 10 origami claws, and you know the one. It's like the ones I used to do in like middle school or whatever to like look cool.
Oh yeah.
But I had a purpose for these, so I mean,
Oh, absolutely. You need 10 of them, and they need to look decent.
and I still have them somewhere. I think the funniest part
Yeah.
was that I went out and I bought some like some weirdly like some creamy like cream white colored paper, like construction paper. I tried to fold it. It was like way too thick.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm like, I just wasted a bunch of money on this paper, which
That's unfortunate.
it was. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I still have that paper too. I've never used it for anything. But
It's
yeah,
not
so
one, huh?
I ended up using a bunch of printer paper, and I made 10 origami claws, and that is my experience with origami
That's fair.
thus far.
Yeah. Maybe one day here soon, because, quarantine is starting to kind of come to a close.
I mean, kind of.
Kind of, yeah, to an extent. It's phasing out.
Yeah.
Hopefully. They really want it to be over, but, the virus...
People
doesn't
want it to
have
be over, but yeah, the virus doesn't
The
say
virus
it's
will do
over.
what the virus wants to do. Yeah, if we had our say, it wouldn't be here at all.
Yeah.
But
what can you
let's
do?
let's be real optimistic here.
Yeah.
Let's assume that there's not a second wave, and that, this phased out.
Let's hope
of
it's not
quarantine stuff
like
works.
the Spanish flu.
Don't worry about it. Didn't even come from Spain. It has no Spanish ties.
Yeah.
Fun
I
fact.
believe it's either thought to be from a military base from in the United States.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Somewhere
That soldiers
in-
brought back from war. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then there was one in France. Some people think it was from France.
Yeah. What I've heard is, like soldiers brought it back from World War I.
Do we know which one it is? Not really. That was a while ago, but
Yeah, it was
it was somewhere. It was somewhere.
Right. It was a thing. If we have a cure, I think. I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah.
But okay, so I guess is our conclusion origami. We are at the 2-hour mark right now.
Oh man. I think I don't know. Let's take a little
Let's
bit
take a moment to ponder. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So sleeping.
Do you
pills.
fall asleep after origamiing? Or does this make you feel more like empowered, enlightened, refreshed?
When I do origami, normally it's in the afternoon where I'm at my peak brain activity.
Yeah.
And I can wrap my head around a lot of the steps and designs, and I'm not as like aggravated with like minute stuff that's happened to me throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
So, see, it's relaxing. Told you. Boom. Gonna make me on shit.
Yeah. Got your dulcet tones just talking about origami.
But I don't know. I do it in the afternoon normally. And when you get something to go right, it's very, like, you feel very proud.
It's satisfying.
You feel very accomplished. Yeah. And, like, honestly, this, like, me doing origami came from, like, me having nothing to do during quarantine and just feeling, like, completely purposeless. And so I'm like, you know what? Exactly. You got to make purpose. And
sleeping pills don't give you purpose. They give you
They do the
rest.
opposite.
They are
That's
a
true.
drug like any other.
Like any other. Serotonin is a drug. And drug use. But yeah, regardless, origami helped really kickstart this.
It gives you true satisfaction.
I guess productive. Yeah,
it's not.
It makes me use my brain and accomplish something, even if I fail at first.
It's not artificial.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can always try again if I wanted to. And a lot of times, I'm like, "How what happened?"
And what does sleeping pills do?
Like. Yeah.
Make you not use your brain.
Lose ambition.
Yeah, because you can't do anything when you're asleep. It makes you happy.
Dream.
It doesn't make you happy when you wake up 4 hours later after taking sleeping pills.
Yeah, what the hell? And it has a different effect for everybody. Some people, they do origami now and then. If they're like, oh yeah, sure, okay, whatever. Here's a I don't know. Like there's a restaurant around here where like they have like little origami crayons hanging up like from the ceiling, and they have a little bowl full of these tiny little crayons, and they're like, hey, fold one if you want. So maybe you do one there. Maybe that's the only one you ever do, and maybe you take one sleeping pill, and that's what you need.
Yeah,
that's it. It's a means to an end.
Absolutely.
Or maybe you try origami and you just get fed up with it and you hate it and you can't stand it. And maybe sleeping pills don't work for you at all and you hate them and you can't stand it. Or you got to use them all the time, or you do use them because they help you and they make your life better.
Maybe you don't origami or sleeping pill. That's what I do.
And it's not like an inverse relationship. It's not like because I sleep really shittily that I'll love origami. But otherwise, I think we'd have a real origami paper boom in this country.
It's different for everyone, but
exactly. Yeah, it's a very personal level.
I mean, arguably, like everything we can talk about is always personal for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We looked at coffee in more of a historical and societal standpoint.
Yeah,
so it's kind of hard to argue with that umbrella term.
On a personal level, though, origami sleeping pill is directly adverse.
I think we found it.
I mean, okay,
we found the antithesis.
I've done origami once, not done sleeping pills once.
Oh, okay.
Not even once.
If you don't need them, do not take them.
Oh yeah, no. I can deal with insomnia very occasionally. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, we're all slightly inconvenienced by life every now and then. You hit a bump in the road, but that's part of the road. Makes you appreciate the smooth part.
It's all good.
Oh yeah, all part of it.
Yeah. So I think that is.
Well, we're required by law to end now.
Yeah, it is at 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I think we've digressed.
That's like the same time as last time.
Basically, I think we're 5 minutes off. If you want to talk for 5 more minutes about nothing.
No, we have to end it now. That's the podcast.
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been Chase and Joe.
Chase and Joe, and I Digress. Tune in next week on Bandcamp and YouTube. Check us out on Instagram. There you go.
We'll be releasing these episodes weekly on Tuesday.
On Tuesday evenings.
Tuesday evenings. The rest of the season. Blah, 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 bye.
Yeah. Wait. That's a good point. For just, I guess, about this show.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna do 8 episodes a season, 1 episode every week. That's 2 months of weekly podcast. Take a little period off.
Bit of a break. How long that is, that up in the air, honestly.
Right. Yeah. It'll come to us.
And then next season,
we'll take what we need.
We're going to start with a completely new topic. We have the chain for this season.
Oh, okay.
Chain for that new one.
That's fair. Okay.
And we'll probably do something special for that first episode.
I'd really like to do something special.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow all of our updates, posts, whatever, on Instagram @and I Digress. We're there.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Check it out. Subscribe on YouTube and I Digress. You can find the links to our podcast on YouTube and on Bandcamp within our Insta bio, or you can just go to bandcamp.com/ and I Digress podcast.bandcamp.com. I'm
Do you think they've left yet?
I don't know, man.
I
can
think they might stop watching. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. You're listening to this. Why am I telling you where to find it? Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. We will be back again.
I Digress with Chase and Joe coming at you next Tuesday.
Starting
on Origami.
Origami. Yeah. See you guys all later.
It's been a pleasure, Chase.
It's been a pleasure, Joe. Bye.
It's been a pleasure.